I never thought betrayal would come dressed in laughter. My wife, Claire, always had this way of laughing things off, brushing aside problems like they were nothing but dust in the air. For years, I admired that quality, thinking it was strength. But when she laughed in my face about a one-night stand when she called it harmless, that laughter cut me deeper than any knife ever could, thought Claire, and I had been married for 8 years. We weren't perfect, but who is? We had a routine, a rhythm, a life together that I thought was steady enough to weather storms. I worked hard to provide. She managed the house, and together we carved out moments of joy between the chaos of daily life. At least that's what I thought. The signs were there, but I ignored them. She'd come home later than usual, smelling faintly of perfume that wasn't hers. She'd giggle at text messages and quickly flip her phone over when I walked into the room. I chalked it up to stress, to needing a little space, to things I thought I could explain away. Because love makes you blind, and I was as blind as they come. One night, she came home later than ever. It was almost 2 a.m., and I'd been sitting on the couch, waiting, the television flickering in the background. She stumbled in, her hair tousled, her makeup smeared. She looked at me with wide eyes, then laughed a laugh too carefree, too unbothered. "Where have you been?" I asked quietly. "Oh, don't be dramatic," she said, waving her hand. "It was just a harmless one-night stand." "It doesn't mean anything." I froze. Did I hear her right? A one-night stand? She said it like she'd misplaced her keys, like it was nothing worth worrying about. "You cheated on me," I whispered. "It's not cheating if it's just once," she said with that same laugh, that same shrug. "You're overreacting. It's not like I love him." It was just fun. My chest tightened. Anger and disbelief clashed inside me. "You think this is funny?" She smirked. "Come on, don't act like it's the end of the world. We're married. We'll move past it. Besides, you take everything so seriously." I said nothing more that night. I just stood up, walked past her, and went to bed. But I didn't sleep. While she drifted off without a care in the world, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. She thought it was harmless. She thought I'd forgive and forget, that I'd swallow my pride and move on like nothing had happened. But something inside me snapped. Her laughter echoed in my ears, mocking me, belittling the love I had given her. And I knew then that I couldn't let it go. She had to regret it. She had to understand what she had thrown away. The next morning, I acted as if nothing had happened. I kissed her cheek, made her coffee, and went to work. But inside, I was planning. I started by gathering evidence. I checked her phone when she wasn't looking, copied messages and photos, and tracked her late-night girls' nights that were anything but innocent. She thought she was clever, hiding things in plain sight. But she underestimated me. Weeks passed, and Claire grew bolder. She joked about her harmless mistake in subtle ways, smirking when I was quiet. She thought my silence meant acceptance, that I was too weak to fight back. She was wrong. I waited. Until her birthday a night she wanted to celebrate with friends and family. She planned a big dinner, inviting everyone we knew. She wanted to be the center of attention, the star of the evening. And I gave her exactly that. When the night came, the house was filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and the smell of food. Claire basked in the glow, her smile wide, her laughter ringing through the air. She leaned over to me at one point and whispered, "See? Everything's fine." "I told you it was harmless," I smiled back. "Of course, darling. You're right, but I knew what was coming." After dinner, when it was time for cake, I stood up. I held a small gift box in my hands. Claire's eyes lit up, expecting jewelry, maybe something sentimental. "Before we cut the cake," I said, "I want to share something special with all of you. Something Claire and I have been keeping private." The room quieted. Claire blushed, clearly enjoying the spotlight. She opened the box eagerly. But instead of jewelry, she found a USB drive. Her smile faltered. "What's this?" she asked, her voice shaky. "Why don't you plug it in?" I suggested. Her hands trembled as she connected it to the TV, and then the screen lit up. Message after message appeared. Photos, conversations, proof of her harmless affair. Laughter died in the room. Gasps filled the air. Her friends stared in shock. Her family whispered furiously. And Claire crumbled before everyone's eyes. She turned to me, tears streaming down her face. "Why are you doing this?" "Because you laughed," I said coldly. "Because you thought my pain was harmless. Because you thought you could humiliate me and walk away unscathed. Now, everyone knows the truth. How harmless is it now?" The room was silent, except for Claire's sobs. I didn't stay to watch the rest. I picked up my coat, nodded to the guests, and walked out. The next morning, I filed for divorce, armed with evidence no lawyer could ignore. Her lover, he vanished the moment things got messy. Her friends, they turned their backs on her, disgusted by her arrogance. Even her family couldn't look at her the same way. Claire lost everything, and me? I walked away free, my head held high, knowing that she would never laugh at me again, because sometimes revenge isn't about anger. It's about making someone see the weight of their actions. And when I looked back at that night, I realized I had done exactly that. She called it harmless. I made sure it hurt.